Bruce Parker. It's number 10. They say if you can't measure it, it won't grow. Imagine yourself one day driving your car. I don't know where you live right now. I live in Southern California, and wherever we go, we have to cross the desert. And so the desert's pretty desolate. So imagine getting in your car, and you start driving. You look down, and you have your dash totally covered up. No gas gauge, no speedometer, no nothing, just driving. No people around you. There's just jackrabbits out there. And you see a gas station. It says, gas 10 miles. Do you need gas? Well, you don't know because you don't have any gauges. So you just pull over and get gas, I guess. If you're driving down the road and you look in your rearview mirror, you see a cop behind you. You look down, you don't have how fast you're going. You'll see a sign, what the speed limit is. You don't know where you're going. Before you know it, now you're having these problems and you're starting to stress out. Just driving across the desert because you don't know if you have a gas or your speedometer or whatever becomes stressful. So how do you run a practice without having a gauge? How do you relax? How do you know what's going on in your practice without a gauge? Statistic management. Get your statistic management in place. If you do not know how to do that, by all means, get involved with the Parker process immediately. It'll save your life. A lot of people get confused about that. A lot of people think by keeping statistics, you're just counting up your money. You're greedy. No. You know where you are. You know what your conversion rates are. You know how many new patients you're seeing. You know what your expenditures are doing. If you're spending money for marketing, you know what your return on investment is. Why should you spend money for marketing and get no return? If you spent $2,000 a month and you didn't know where it was going, you'd start looking at it as an expense. If you found out that $2,000 was making you $10,000, you'd do it again, yes? You only know that if you have statistics. If you're bringing in new patients, 20 a month, let's say, and you're wanting to grow your practice, well, unless you know how many patients, how they're following through with you, how many visits they're having, and all those things, you don't know how to goal for them. You don't know how to process people. You don't know anything. You're just guessing all the time, and you're living in stress. Most chiropractors I meet, I love you. Don't take this personally. Don't take it negatively. I do love you. That's why I'm here. They're stressed out. Most chiropractors I meet are stressed out. They don't know what their overhead is. They think they do. They don't know what their income is going to be next month because they don't know how to get. They don't know how to even. They hope it's going to be a certain amount. They're living in a life of wonderment. Statistical management is the key to having your life back. I've told people this, and I've fought with them for years. No one wants to do it. So right now, you're probably not doing it. You're not alone, believe me. But I have a client recently who I fought with for 4 or 5 years, and finally, this person, their practice is working wonderfully, but they still didn't know how good it was until they started taking statistics. They're finally getting serious about it, and my gosh, are they getting changed? They're changing. They're relaxing, and as they're knowing where things are, they're actually becoming more successful because they're more relaxed. They attract more people. So we have I can't say the word sometimes, excuse me. We have a statistical management program, in place for you to use. And all you got to do is start taking just track of everything. How many new patients you're seeing, how many office visits, how much your services are, how much you're collecting, just the basic stuff. And by doing that, you'll start having an idea and a thumbnail of what's happening with your practice. It'll take your life into a position of calmness. When you are traveling, you can monitor your practice by just looking at statistics once you learn how to use them. When you have associates doing your work for you, you can monitor their results, and it gives you a great tool. So knowing statistical management is the first key to operating a business. That's a word that scares people. A lot of people, I ask them, do you have a practice or do you have a business? They go, I have my own business. First question. So let's say you're traveling right now and you're going to Hawaii, and you're there for a week, and you're there and you're having such a great time. You call up your secretary and say, you know what? I'm not coming back for another week. Can you do that? And some people say, oh yeah, I can do that. But what happens? Well, I lose my business while I'm gone. That's because you have a job. You own your own job. For you to ever have the freedom to take a vacation, just stay on it, you're going to have a business. A business is something that will be when your practice can grow with you not there. It can continue to grow while you're not there. And that only happens when you start operating like a business. Run your practice like a hobby. It'll cost you like a hobby. Run it like a business. It'll pay you like a business. The foundation for every business is understanding, the profit margins, the expenses, and the investment portion. Right now, if you're investing in this video series, if you're getting results, if you spent money right now for this video series and you're getting benefit, then you would know by measuring the changes in your practice that you invested X amount of dollars, but it was worth it. Right now, if you're not doing the work that I've given you to do, then the return on your investment is about what you paid, which is nothing. But if you understand the value of what we're teaching you and you start putting it in place, it'll start making a change. You'll find that most people that have great practices invest in themselves. You ask your patients to invest in you by paying for their services, but I'm asking you to invest by doing the work, like keeping statistics. As you invest your time and your treasures or your money, you will start having more and more come back to you. So start taking statistics. If you have a question, email me. I've given you my email before, Dr. Bruce of the Parker Process. I'll guide you. I want to help you. But statistics are mandatory. I'll see you on the next video.